One morning, I woke up to find a divorce paper on the living room table. As I stood there, wondering why, my husband appeared in front of me. "Did you check that divorce paper?" "I saw it, but what's this all about?" "Can't you tell by looking? It's a divorce paper. I've filled out my part, so just sign it and let's get divorced." "Why are we getting divorced? Your mom's in such a state." "That's exactly why we're divorcing. Who's gonna look after your mom if you divorce me? She needs care." "You sayin' you can do it? That old hag in a coma? Just leave her be and she'll kick the bucket soon enough. No need to bother with her." My husband left, leaving a divorce paper. "My name's Emily. I've been a homemaker to my husband Jason for 7 years. We got hitched when fate brought us together, him being 5 years older. I was drawn to his positive attitude, and he'd help me out at times. When I was nervous about meeting his mom for the first time, Jason encouraged me, saying, "Don't worry about it. Mom'll welcome you with open arms. Have more faith in yourself. It'll be fine." When we actually went to meet her, my worries disappeared in no time. His mom looked me in the eye the whole time, listening to me with a smile. We hit it off that very day. We met a few more times after that, and she always greeted me with a smile. Jason's dad had already passed on, so his mom was living alone. Since Jason's an only child, his mom was overjoyed, saying, "I'm so happy to finally have the daughter I've always wanted. And such a good one at that. I'm truly blessed. Emily, don't be shy, let's get along from now on." After the wedding, we'd visit each other's homes often. We had a great relationship, always helping each other out when needed. But suddenly, dark clouds started gathering over our peaceful days. One day, we got a call from the hospital. "Margaret is currently hospitalized here. Her life isn't in danger, but she suffered quite a bit of injury. We'd like to discuss the details with you. Could you come down?" Margaret is Jason's mom's name. The call probably came to me because Jason wasn't picking up. I rushed to the hospital and found his mom unconscious, bedridden. I asked a nearby nurse what happened. Seems she slipped on a pedestrian bridge. Someone behind her called an ambulance. I started worrying if she'd wake up, if there'd be any lasting effects. I quickly called Jason, and we all gathered at the hospital. The doctor told us, her condition is stable, and miraculously, there are no fractures. However, she's currently in a coma, and we don't know when she'll regain consciousness. She'll need assistance until she wakes up, and even after that, she'll likely need family care. If that happens, can we count on your family's cooperation?" I immediately decided to take care of his mom without a second thought. Jason agreed too, so after a few months in the hospital, we brought her home. We were supposed to work together as a family of 2 to care for her until she regained consciousness. But then a problem arose. Jason wouldn't help with his mom's care at all. So I asked him, "Hey, this is a big deal with your mom. Why won't you help out?" Jason coldly replied, "You're always at home doing nothing, so you can take care of mom. I'm working all day for both of you. So mom's care is your job, you should know that without me telling you." Then he left for work. From that day on, Jason started coming home late every night. I noticed something. He used to come home at the same time every day, but lately, he's been coming back real late. I was half exasperated with him for dumping his own parents' care entirely on me, so I hadn't paid much attention. But thinking about it again, I got a hunch that while he was making me do all the caring, he might be out fooling around. So I decided to keep a close eye on his usual behavior. There were various ways to go about it, like checking his phone or hiring a private eye. But for some reason, Jason confessed to cheating on his own one day. One night, Jason came home earlier than usual. "Welcome home. You're early today," I said. Jason sighed like he was bothered and said, "Even if I come home early, there's nothing good for me here. Emily, you don't care about me, you're always just taking care of mom. And mom's just a money eater in a coma. I feel so suffocated when I come back to this house." He lay down on the sofa without even saying I'm home. He continued, pointing at me, and what's with that outfit? There's not an ounce of femininity in it. Can't you at least put on some makeup? Even the women at work all do it. I'm working my butt off out there, don't you think you should try to look nice and comfort me? Women walking down the street look way prettier than you. It's true that lately, I'd been wearing comfortable pants and no makeup because I'd sweat while caring for his mom. There was a reason for it, but he was just saying whatever he wanted without thinking. I was getting really irritated. Oblivious to my feelings, Jason went on, this is what I wanted to say today. Sure, I asked you to take care of mom, but that doesn't mean you can treat me like dirt. You're not treating me right, so I've been stressed out every day. Then I met this girl who's been comforting me. So, I don't need you anymore, Emily. If I'm gonna get married, I think it's better to be with a woman who can get pregnant. I've found my ideal girl who hasn't thrown away her womanhood like you have. So stop trying to tie me down. After saying that, Jason went up to his study. He wouldn't lift a finger to help with his own parents' care, but he's cheating outside. And on top of that, saying I'm tying him down? His words made my blood boil, but I couldn't bring myself to divorce him because I was worried about what would happen to his mom. His mom, who had treated me like her own daughter. If she could go to a care facility, that'd be fine, but considering the possibility that she might just be abandoned, I thought I couldn't divorce until things were settled for her. A few months later. One morning, I woke up to find a filled-out divorce paper on the living room table. As I stood there, wondering why, my husband appeared in front of me. Did you check that divorce paper? I saw it, but what's this all about? Can't you tell by looking? It's a divorce paper. I've filled out my part, so just sign it and let's get divorced. Why are we getting divorced? Your mom's in such a state. That's exactly why we're divorcing. Who's gonna look after your mom if you divorce me? She needs care. Are you saying you can do it? That old hag in a coma? Just leave her be and she'll kick the bucket soon enough. No need to bother with her. How can you say that? She's your mother, ain't she? I ain't gonna look after someone like that. If you really wanna, I'll leave you to take care of that money-draining old bag. With that, Jason left the divorce papers and walked out of the house. I figured there was no point in saying anything more. I didn't even feel like stopping him from going to his mistress, thinking we couldn't patch things up anymore, so I just watched him leave. Suddenly, I heard a familiar voice from behind. Emily? My mother-in-law had woken up after 6 months. You're conscious again. Are you sure you're okay? I'm fine. More importantly, Jason left, didn't he? Yeah. He went to his lover's place. Says he wants a divorce. I'm so sorry for what my foolish son did. No, it's not your fault. Actually, I was conscious even when I was bedridden. I could hear all the conversations. That's what my mother-in-law told me. While you were desperately taking care of me in my coma, my idiot son kept throwing hurtful words at me like I'm a money sucker. I should hurry up and die. I'm a nuisance. Being in a coma is the same as being dead. It breaks my heart just remembering it. I'd rather be on your side than that son of mine. As my mother-in-law said this with a smile, I wiped away the tears that had started falling again. Emily, truth is, I've been able to move a bit for the past 3 days, but I thought I couldn't move well with Jason around, so I was waiting for the right time. It's okay. I'm just happy that you're awake and we can talk. When I replied, she grinned and said, well then, shall we go threaten the CEO first? I didn't understand what she meant, so I asked, what do you mean by that? She looked at me gently and explained. I know the parents of that idiot's son's affair partner. Huh? Really? What do you want to do, Emily? Divorce Jason? Get revenge? I want a divorce. I was worried about what would happen if we divorced while you were still unconscious, so I couldn't bring myself to do it. I told my mother-in-law about my intention to divorce. She said, he's my son, but I really can't forgive him. Emily, I'm truly sorry for everything. From now on, please live your own life. You're not at fault at all. My just-as-loving mother-in-law seemed completely disillusioned with her own son's true nature. Will you leave the rest to me? I'm gonna send that boy and his mistress straight to hell. Her face was terrifyingly beautiful, and she looked so excited it gave me chills. Emily, I've got a plan, so don't worry. I promise you won't have to go through anything unpleasant. Thank you so much, I said tearfully. But first, I want to make sure if the daughter knows she's having an affair. If she's been tricked into thinking he's single, I'll contact the CEO. All we can do is pray that girl's a victim too. After some investigation, we found out that Jason had been lying about being a divorced single man when he was dating that woman. A few months later, we got divorced. Jason was no longer my husband. Now that the divorce is settled, let's start a revenge on those idiots. Emily, shall we get ready to go out? Go out? Where are we going? Just to tie up some loose ends in my life. Those words alone showed Margaret's determination. To match her resolve, I gathered everything I'd prepared over the past 6 months, got ready, and we set off. We arrived at a large building. As soon as we entered, we heard angry shouting. I recognized that voice, and my whole body tensed up. Shall we go in? Yes. When we opened the door, we saw a woman surrounded by 3 men and women. Look, I ain't asking for anything complicated. I'm telling you to give back the company that you bought. I've told you, I bought it fair and square. I followed all the proper procedures and even completed the registration. It's impossible to return it now. If you really want to get it back, you can buy it from me again. Of course, at my asking price. Hello, Olivia. And Kevin, Jason. Why is Margaret here? You bastard, you called Margaret without permission. She shouldn't have anything to do with this. Why'd you call her? It's been a while since someone called me by my name. Lately, I've only been called money sucker, right? Jason's eyes, which had been glaring at Margaret until just now, looked up at the ceiling. Jason seemed the most shaken by our appearance. What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, this has nothing to do with Margaret. Oh no, I'm here because this isn't about Olivia and you guys. Huh? What do you mean? Margaret has no connection to. Hey Jason, why don't you stop being quiet and start talking? Well, what's going on? How does Margaret know our son-in-law's name? And you two seem awfully close. Don't tell me you're in that kind of relationship. Could you stop that? It's disgusting. Jason, your daughter's husband, is my biological son. And he's also the ex-husband of this lady next to me. Huh? Ex-husband? Jason, what the hell is going on here? Well, I didn't. What do you mean you didn't? Margaret's your mother, right? And you told us you've never been married before. So how come this woman here is your ex-wife? Were you lying to me and my daughter? No, I didn't mean to lie. Then what's this situation? Explain it so I can understand. It's useless to ask Jason. That boy can't answer anything. He's just gonna say I'm lying or make up some nonsense. Wouldn't it be better to hear my story instead? You've got a point, but Jason, are you okay with this? He can't answer anything. How pathetic. It's disappointing to think I was married to such a man for years. Hey, Jason, why don't you say something? I told you, that's enough. I'll explain everything. Like why your company ended up being bought by Olivia's company. Huh? You're saying Margaret's involved in this? That's ridiculous. I heard Margaret doesn't have much money. So how could she be involved in this deal? That's right. It's understandable that you don't know. I was poor when I was a student. But my mother's family was a well-known landowner in the countryside. That land was bought up for highway construction. We became incredibly wealthy. Besides that, commercial facilities were built, and the land kept selling like hotcakes. My mother inherited that wealth, and now that she's passed away, I've inherited it. My mother inherited the assets after I became an adult. And I inherited those assets a few years ago. I don't have any contact with my classmates except for Olivia, so it's no wonder you don't know. Wait a minute, Mom. You inherited assets? I never heard about this. We've been poor since I was a kid, right? That's right. It's no wonder you don't know. Because I never offered financial help to my mother. Of course, your father didn't either. My mother was a frugal person and not a big spender, so she never gave off the impression of having money. So it's understandable that you didn't know. But this is the truth. And my mother kept increasing the inherited assets through stocks and investments, and I've continued that. My current total assets are more than your mistress's family. No way! I had no idea! That's right. It's a shame, isn't it? But I had a feeling this might happen, so I didn't tell you. Huh? Why not? I'm your son, aren't I? That's right. You're undoubtedly the child I gave birth to. But do you remember what you did when you found out I was in a coma? You hurled abuse at me while I was unconscious, abandoned Emily who was taking care of me, and ran off to that young girl. You're the worst as a man and as a human being. That's why I decided to cooperate with Olivia to buy Kevin's company. Jason, I found out that the person you're having an affair with is Kevin's daughter. How do you know that? Even Emily didn't find out. Yeah, your method was very clever. So it's understandable that it didn't get found out. But you know, as I said before, I'm your mother. I've been seeing through your lies since you were born. Did you think you could fool your mom? It's a shame. I saw right through everything. After I regained consciousness, I got suspicious and asked an acquaintance to hire a professional. As you know, I have plenty of assets. I didn't tell Emily because I didn't want you to get suspicious. That's the worst. Not just me, but you even tricked Emily. I've already heard about that from your mom, so you've got no right to say anything. Besides, it ended up being for my benefit, so there's no need for you to criticize me, is there? Emily, don't you see? This old hag's been fooling you. Jason, do you even hear yourself? Why would your mom need to trick us? This old bag kept quiet about her money. She didn't want to give it to me, right? How low can you get? And buying Dad's company to make us suffer, is that so much fun for you? You told me I was the worst as a man and a human. You're even worse. You're no better than a demon or the devil. Hold on, I don't remember selling my company. There's no way the CEO wouldn't know about this. And why his company of all places? They're our biggest rival. There's nothing in it for me. About that, your daughter might know better. Isn't that right? You know everything, don't you? Don't tell me you knew Jason was married? Hey, what's going on here? You told me Jason was single, didn't you? Was that all lies too? What's the deal? The mistress, being yelled at by her father, shrank back and nodded slightly without saying a word. Feeling a bit sorry for her, his mom added. She didn't know he was married until they registered their marriage. That idiot son of mine lied about being divorced. Jason thought Emily had submitted the divorce papers the day she gave them to him. Why the hell did this happen? This company is mine. It's got nothing to do with Jason and his ex-wife, right? So why's my company the target? It's like collateral damage. Besides, your company already belonged to your daughter. Huh? What? No way. I mean, I did let my brother take over as CEO, but... Hey. You were the majority shareholder with over half the stocks, weren't you? Kevin's eyes went wide as he looked at his daughter. The mistress remained silent again. Hey, what's going on here? Don't tell me you bought up the stocks without telling me? How the hell did you do that? You couldn't afford over half the company's stocks with your assets, right? Where'd you get that kind of money from? Don't tell me you didn't take out a loan from the bank, did you? No, that's not it. I put up the money. Well, indirectly at least. Huh? What's that mean? I don't get it. Explain it so I can understand. My head's spinning. It's simple. I suggested to Olivia that she buy your company. Then, Olivia contacted your daughter with a proposal to buy and sell. Your daughter refused, saying she wasn't a manager, but I gave her half the money I'd prepared to buy the company in advance for the stocks. And with that money, she bought the stocks. What the hell is that? Doing such a thing without consulting me. So, having over half the stocks means you gathered them from all our relatives? Those traitors. No, you just trusted others too much. Only owning 20% of the stocks yourself is like asking to be bought out. Well, in the end, that trust backfired on you. That's not the point right now. I've been tricked. What are you guys gonna do about this? Wait, maybe you were tricked too. Kevin's gaze turned back to his daughter. Hey, Jason. You got close to my daughter because you wanted my company, right? You were in cahoots with Margaret all along, weren't you? That's absolutely not true. I really had no idea this would happen. I just wanted to be with her. The company was secondary. You gotta be kidding me? Sure, maybe you didn't know exactly how this would play out. But it's a fact that you wanted the company, and you were pretty into the affair. I don't know which came first, loving her or wanting the company. Saying this, I took out an envelope with evidence I'd gathered over the past few months and laid it out for everyone. The photos were dated, undeniably from during my marriage to Jason. Enough. I've had it. Give me back my company. I'll pay whatever you're a skin. It's way better than letting these folks have it. I can't pay it all at once, so it'll have to be installments. Is that okay? That's not gonna fly. Besides, I don't have your company anymore. Huh? What do you mean? You just said it wasn't mine anymore because the registration was done. I did say that, but I never said it was mine, did I? I put your company up for sale right after buying it. Luckily, we found a buyer quickly. I recovered the money I gave to your daughter and got revenge for Margaret. That's one less regret for Margaret. So, I can't get my company back right away? That's not necessarily true. Why don't you track down the buyer and negotiate? I told you I don't have the money to pay in full. How am I supposed to buy it back? How should I know? Don't expect me to have all the answers. You're a businessman, aren't you? Why don't you use your own head for once? How about borrowing the money your daughter received to pay for it? I gave it to her all at once, so it should help a bit, right? When Kevin looked at his daughter, she quickly turned her face away. What's with that attitude? Hey, answer me. Don't just stay quiet, answer. Where's the money you got? Once I get the company back, I'm gonna disown you. You're no daughter of mine anymore. Come on, hand over the money. Kevin, as you suspect, I don't think your daughter has the money anymore. Huh? Would you shut up for a sec? I'm talking to my daughter here. I didn't ask for your opinion. You just worry about Jason. Kevin, would you please listen to what I have to say? What is it? If it's nonsense, I won't hold back. Thank you. After I divorced Jason, I had your daughter investigated. This was separate from what Margaret looked into. And I found out something really interesting. Hey, you're pregnant now, aren't you? Jason hurriedly stepped between me and his mistress. He looked surprised, his eyes darting back and forth. How the hell do you know that? I never told you anything like that. That's right, you didn't tell me. But I kind of figured it out. After all, when you divorced me, you said you wanted a younger woman who could get pregnant, remember? Did I say something like that? You did, that's why I remember. How would I know something you never said? That'd be crazy talk. Anyway, I started checking out the OBGYNs in your area and keeping watch. And boy, did I get some interesting footage. Wanna see? You jobless bum. Doing nothing but this kind of stuff, Don't you realize how pathetic you are? Just because you can't have kids yourself, you're doing this pitiful thing. Ain't you ashamed of yourself? Not at all. Besides, didn't you even notice you were being cheated on? Huh? Who the hell's cheating on me? You? Why would it be me? It doesn't matter who I'm with anymore, it's none of your business. The one cheating is you. And the one doing the cheating is that lady over there. No way! That can't be true! Right? Tell me it's a lie! Say it ain't so! But the lady didn't answer. Jason, losing patience, shook her. Hey! Explain yourself! If you stay quiet, it's like you're saying what she's saying is true. Is that okay with you? Hey, you're pregnant, right? Don't shake her so hard. If you don't believe me, look at this picture. Once you see this, you'll have no choice but to believe it without even hearing the story. Saying that, I showed him my phone screen. Jason stared intently at the screen, then glared at the lady, his face turning pale. Who's this guy? Why are you going to the OBGYN with a man who ain't me? Is this guy the father of your baby? Don't just stay quiet, answer me. Without answering, the lady ran away. Wait. Give me back my money. Come back here. Kevin also left, chasing after his daughter. The only ones left were us and Jason. Well, Jason, what are you gonna do now? How are you gonna make up for your sins? I want to get back together with Emily. Huh? Get back together with me? What kind of joke is that? Give me a break. Now that I know the baby ain't mine, I quit my job because I was planning to work at her dad's company. Mom and Emily are the only ones I can rely on now. Oh, you quit your job? That's too bad. Gonna be tough for you then. Tough? You're talking like it's someone else's problem. Hey, Mom. Take me back as your son again. I'm your only real son, right? That's true. You're my biological son, but not my only one anymore. Emily's become my daughter now. Huh? But I'm divorced from Emily. After you and Emily divorced. And I'm planning to leave all my inheritance to Emily. All of it. You gotta be kidding me. Why can't I, your real kid, get any of it? Of course not. Did you help out at all when I was in a coma? If anything, you were hoping I'd kick the bucket soon. So I've already taken care of the paperwork to exclude you from the inheritance. You don't have any right to inherit. No way! How can that be allowed? What you did was far more sinful. Well, we're gonna head out now. Don't show your face around us ever again. Leaving Jason hanging his head, Margaret and I went home. I thought the revenge was over, but my ex-husband kept trying to contact me. No matter how many times I blocked his number, he'd call from a different one, so it was like playing whack-a-mole. After that, Margaret and I sold the house and moved. This time, we not only blocked his calls but also changed our phone numbers, so we finally cut all ties with my ex-husband completely. Through Olivia's connections, we were able to find out what happened to my ex-husband afterward. Realizing he had no other options, Jason gave up on us and started job hunting again. He managed to get a job, but it seems he caused problems with women there too. The incident blew up and he had to quit again. He kept changing jobs, but apparently caused problems with women each time, and became known as a good-for-nothing in the industry. Maybe he's still chasing after his former self who was able to get married and have affairs with younger women, because now all he talks about is how popular he used to be. Nobody wants to hear him bragging about his affairs, so Jason's isolated everywhere he goes. He's become mentally unstable, thrashing around in his room and causing trouble repeatedly. As a result, he finally got kicked out of his place and is now living like a homeless person, scratching out a living day by day. He's lost his job, his family's trust, everything, and it seems there's no one around to help him. I think once you hit rock bottom, you realize how blessed you were before and how much people around you were helping you. I'm not expecting much, but from afar, I'm hoping the day will come when my ex-husband realizes this. As for me, I'm enjoying redecorating with Margaret in our new house, replacing all the furniture and appliances with the latest models. Margaret's health has improved a lot, so we're able to go out more often. Her strength and complexion are back to normal, which is a relief for me. When I walk on my own after so long, I feel happier than ever before. Being able to walk is something we take for granted, but it's really a blessing, isn't it? Margaret smiles, and I nod emphatically, realizing anew how happy ordinary days can be. From now on, I want to follow Margaret's example, be grateful to many people, and live my life focusing on the happiness right in front of me. And above all, I'm wishing for this peaceful life with Margaret to continue for a long time.